Joining me to get the latest on this is someone who's forgotten more about housing than government will ever know, Mr Lindsay Partridge, the Managing Director of Australia's largest brick maker, Brickworks. Lindsay, welcome to the program. I'll get to gas in a moment because you used to chew my ear off about gas, and 15 odd years on, you are absolutely prophetic in what you warned government about. But let's talk housing. What's driving our shortages? Because, there's plenty of will out there in the construction industry. Why aren't we getting the homes built?
Well, there's a lot of shortages and blockages throughout the whole system. I mean, we really need to go back to a period when it worked well to sort of get a bit of an understanding. If you go back to the 60s in New South Wales, they were cutting up 70,000 blocks of land. They were about 1,000 square metres each. A person of single wage could afford to buy them. Whereas today, they're lucky to cut up 12,000 blocks. They're the size of a postage stamp. It's just the land just is not coming through. And then the building approvals, you used to roll the plan up under your arm, go up to the council, and you turn up a couple of hours later with it stamped. Well, today, you're lucky to get a building approval in 9 months. The land, it was 10 years to get land approved, so you can see what that adds to expense. And then we used to have the thing called three-storey walk-ups. We loved them because they're all full brick, but they were solid and as tough as anything for the rental market, and a lot of them are still out there today. Well, the three-storey walk-ups have disappeared. They're replaced by expensive, high-rise towers. They've got lifts and use lots of electricity and energy, etc. And then, of course, the last thing, there was plenty of trades, and the trades aren't there today. We're running at about 175,000 homes, I think, a year, and I think Australia is pretty well in balance for the first time. But the government's talking about, of course, wanting to produce, best part of 250,000 homes a year. So we're a long way short.
Well, talk to me about trades, because we've got a lot of trade training places. There's plenty of money in the trade sector to train young people. Why aren't we turning out the trades at the other end?
Yeah, well, I've been involved with training of bricklayers now 30 years. And the problem is, it's not that there's not enough training places. There's plenty of training places. It's just that we can't get enough young people interested in it. And the latest generation, I call them the iPad generation, they've been told by their parents to go get a university degree. And many of them end up, waiting tables at places, whereas they could get a trade and as soon as they graduate could earn, $100,000, $150,000 a year. So that's the big problem. But if you look at it from their point of view, the Australian kids, that if they want to leave when they're 16 to go get an apprenticeship, they haven't got a licence, so they can't get around all these varying jobs. So, but if you let them get their restricted licence when they're 16, I think many of them would love to take it up. So that's just sort of one of the things. But the other thing is, if they stay at school and do a pre-trade course, they still got to do the full apprenticeship. They don't get a discount off the time they got to do the apprenticeship. If they do 2 years of school, why don't they get chopped off the apprenticeship?
It's part of the problem that a trade's hard work. I mean, you've got to be out there when it's hot. You've got to be out there when it rains. You've got to do physical work. And you're right, a lot of young kids now live on a device. We're one of the fattest countries in the world now. We're not doing much that's physical. And a trade is physical work.
Yeah, look, and that's what, a lot of those immigrants that came in the 60s were trades. They were building trades. And that's why I say, they're used to working outside. And they're happy to be in the sun. I think it's great. And they'd love the opportunity to be in Australia and be a tradesman in Australia. We need them because we're just not producing enough, and definitely not producing enough. The extra output we've got for it is like 2 extra Canberras in the next 5 years. 2 extra Canberras. So we have to build something like 8 Canberras in the next 5 years to meet these, I call them, aspirational targets.
Talk to me about gas, because you always said we're on a hiding to nothing. Our gas was getting too expensive, that we weren't doing enough in terms of exploration, that we needed gas for industry, of course, industries like yours making bricks, but we also need it as a transition fuel. I'm sure you're not happy that you've been proven right, because it's an economic catastrophe in this country. What do we need to do right now?
Well, we need more gas. I mean, for our point of view, gas in the last decade's most really gone up 300%. Now we've had to pass those costs on. We're very fortunate. Santos is supporting us now. We've got a long-term contract with them, and so we're happy, but it is going up with inflation. But of course, it's the price of gas that sets the price for electricity, because that's the peaking power. So when you see your electricity bill, and for us, electricity has gone up 60% in the last 12 months, and we don't see any end in sight. My biggest concern is that electricity is going to be unreliable. We're going to have shutdowns because there is none, and it's going to keep climbing at this incredible rate. So we're in a real corner, and there's no easy answer now. It's gone on so long. There's no easy way out.
All right, well, we'll throw that into the mix of the government. Lindsay, great to catch up with you again. Thank you for your time tonight.